So how does the swing feel at the moment?
It's like most golfers, you're never really happy with your swing, but yeah, I've had to change it a bit just post-diagnosis.
Right. Do you mind me asking, what was your cancer diagnosis?
No, that's fine. Yeah, so it's myeloma, so it's a form of blood cancer. So,
Right, okay.
Because I had to just protect my back effectively, because one of the symptoms of myeloma is like back pain. The driver's probably suffered the most out of all of it. Yeah.
Hardest club to hit.
Yeah.
Driver.
Yeah.
How did it feel to be told?
Yeah, it's life-changing. It's like, I guess all of these tests were ruling out the worst case, and then we got to the day, which is the worst case, and got a phone call to come in, and it wasn't over the phone, so you kind of feared the worst. And my wife was pregnant at the time as well, with our second. So yeah, it was really difficult. It was a tough time. I mean, I'm really thankful I got to see the birth of my son, and you know, I get to see them every day. But yeah, every sort of month it becomes an event, unfortunately, where you're a bit nervous, you know, before the meeting with the doctor to talk about your results. So yeah, it's better than having to have done the treatment. So I'm thankful for the doctors for finding it and catching it, and yeah, just do everything I can to stay fit and well and healthy. Can just be a bit more impactful on my body. So you have to try and look at the pros of it really, and just say, okay, I can be more careful. I understand what my situation is and do the best I can with that situation. But yeah, it's, sometimes it is tough, yeah.
So the first thing we do is we measure your wrist to floor measurement. So standing with your arms at your side, nice and relaxed, looking straight ahead, good. So your wrist to floor measurement is 35.5. And how tall are you?
Just 6 foot, yeah.
So you look at your height up here, 6 foot, come down to 35.5.
Yeah.
And actually you're green light, so 2 degrees upright, but in this standard length. So that's going to be my starting point.
Yep.
Okay.
Makes sense, yeah.
Another good shot.
Cheers.
Can't miss with that one.
Yeah,
What about your longest day golf challenge?
Yeah.
How did you find that?
Yeah, it was really good. You always say you're going to do something for charity, and given my diagnosis sort of last year, so I thought, yeah, time to do something, and was a team captain, and you know, had some 3 other good friends who did it with me, and yeah, it was a really rewarding day, tough day. There was a bit of apprehension of the treatment plan and stuff, but I said, regardless of that, I'm going to do it at whatever stage I'm at. So,
Good shot.
we did it on the Monday, just around the longest day, so I think they recommend doing it around that 1 week of sunshine that we get in Britain. And luckily we got good with the weather. I think it's like 22, 23 degrees, so not too hot where you get dehydrated and it becomes a bit more of a toll on your body.
Imagine it would be harder with it.
Yeah,
really
if it was
hot.
like 30 degrees, it would be pretty strenuous. But yeah, and you know, it's very different sort of teeing off at 4:15 in the morning, no one on the course, and we're very lucky we have like deer around our course and stuff, so it's very nice to see. Yeah, so that's the first tee, so you can see there 4:18.
Wow.
Yeah, the iPhone does a good job of making it look brighter than it was.
Right.
Very twilighty, and then after the second or third hole, then the sun came up, and yeah, you kind of whiz around in that first round, and buzzing really. It was definitely my most memorable round was the first round. A lot of people say the fourth is as well, but.
And which was the hardest round?
The hardest is the third. He was quite a long course, so it was like 6,700 yards off the white. So we said we're going to do it properly. Yeah.
So if you're going to do it, pick a short course.
Yeah, that's one little hack if you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So how did you feel when you'd finished? The last putt went in, the game was finished. How did it feel?
Yeah, it was a big relief. It was it was a long build up, obviously, with all the fundraising and the day itself, planning and organising that. So yeah, it was a big relief. It was really nice to come home to your wife.
How did you celebrate?
Just went home and had a shower and went to sleep. I think we did have these plans of like having a drink or something after, but I think everyone was happy to get home. Yeah.
So this is our 50th year in Gainsborough.
Okay.
This is the new building. So this area, this is our what we call Tour Works area.
Okay, fine.
So all of the golf clubs for Tour are built here. So Lee Westwood, Tyrrell Hatton, any of the European Tour players, any of the elite amateurs will build them here. So if they get them lost in transit, for instance, to go to a tour event, clubs don't turn up. we sometimes have to build them at short notice, so they're done on here. Right, this is yours, 9.
All right.
So that tells us all of the specs that needs to go to. So actually that says G430, RTS stands for retro spec, so this customer wants the lofts a little bit weaker.
Yep.
So that you can see is the grooves of the face.
Yeah.
That's actually measuring the grooves, and that's how we're adjusting the lie and the loft.
Okay.
If you come here and hit it there.
Okay.
I'm left-handed, so.
Is that enough?
One more. That's it. And then the lie, so you're going that way, so you just lean on it with your hip. Just lean on it with your hip.
Is that enough or more?
That's it. Let's try that.
Cool. Got it in 2.
You get a job here.
Why not?
Go. That was good.
Yeah. It's amazing to see it firsthand. I think it was just really interesting to see all the different stages these golf clubs go through. We just see them in our bag, you know, when we play with them, but I'll appreciate it more when I'm on the course. Yeah, now definitely.
How do you find golf helped you mentally and physically?
Yeah, so mentally it was a huge help, just being sort of the only thing that you care about when you're on the course is your next shot. You're not really worried about all the other stresses, especially sort of during the diagnosis and the tests and so on. And so yeah, and it's also really good from a social aspect. Like I've luckily got a good group of friends that, you know, we dip in, dip out and play together. So you know, it's always nice to just have a chat about something else sometimes, and not just the same sort of spiel about what you kind of like what you're going through at the time.
Yeah.
It's one of the only sports which you can play on a level playing field with a handicap system as well. So you know, it's very inclusive in that respect as well.
So Jay, you seem very open today about everything. Do you find it difficult to be so open?
It is difficult. It's difficult to be open. It's hard conversations, but I just think it's really important, because I think if I share my story or someone else has an issue, you know, they can go get checked, and early diagnosis is the best, because you've got more success rate, better chance of better quality of life afterwards. Men as well, especially, don't talk about their feelings, and culturally, sometimes it's a bit difficult conversations to have, you know, anyway with your parents. But then, you know, having to tell them this kind of sort of news is something which doesn't really always get shared around the community. I think it's just really important to raise awareness, and that's another reason why I set up the page, because, you know, it's painful and hard to tell everyone individually, but, you know, just send a link on fundraising, and then they can read my story. It's a bit easier.
It's quite personal to my life as well, because my wife was diagnosed with cancer at 34 when she was pregnant. Although she wasn't my wife at the time, so we met 8 years ago, and she went through, you know, it was quite an aggressive form of cancer, so she had to give birth early and then go through, you know, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, you know, breast removed, hysterectomy, everything. And she's, you know, I mean, she's amazing. It's just like now. She's absolutely fine. Touch wood, you know.
It brings up.
So just listening
everyone,
listening to what you're saying, it's like.
And that's what's amazing. Like, everyone has their life impacted in some way, if it's direct or not. Yeah. And that's what's unfortunate nowadays, and that's very common. But the medical advances are so good that you can have a good quality of life after. It's not it's not necessarily terminal in most cases, which maybe 20, 30 years ago it was.
Well, hope you've had a great day at Ping today, Jay, and thanks for opening up so much. Congratulations on all of your fundraising efforts as well, and I hope you really enjoy new clubs.
Thank you. Cheers, Nick. Thank you.